Welcome to the New Hampshire Statehouse. This building was built in 1819, and you are now standing in the historic Hall of Flags. The flags inside these cases are the original Civil War battle flags carried by New Hampshire soldiers into battle. They've been inside the cases for 112 years, and because of those flags, we have continued our collection of flags throughout First World War, Second World War, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. As we leave this hallway, we enter by the elevators to the back of the building. The New Hampshire Statehouse has had 3 renovations, the largest renovation in 1910 when the addition was put on the back of the building, more than doubling the size of the Statehouse. As we come up the top of the stairs and we leave the area where the elevators are, we're entering back into the 1819 portion of the Statehouse. This part of the building is the original, and we're actually back in the front of the building. We are now entering the historic House of Representatives. The House of Representatives has seats for the 400 state representatives. The boxes on the seats, as you will see here, these wooden boxes are the electronic voting system for the House of Representatives. It should be noted that the voting system began in 1974, and we are still using the same voting system after all these years. State representatives sit in assigned seats. They are assigned by the Speaker of the House, and when the members gather in this room, they gather and sit in their assigned seats. There is a very strict decorum on behavior in the House of Representatives. Members are not allowed to speak unless recognized by the Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House presides up here at the front head podium, looking out over the 399 members. When a member is called to speak, they have to leave their seat and come forward and stand at one of the 2 podiums at the front of the room. The microphones at the podiums are very, very modern. They are connected to the desk up in the gallery, and that desk is a tape recording computerized system. It puts it out live over the internet. So while they follow the old traditional rules, we also utilize technology to bring our meetings and the discussions into people's homes via computer. When a member is called, the first thing they do is they come forward and they thank the Speaker of the House. They thank the Speaker of the House for calling on them, and they thank the members for listening to them. There are some other unique rules in the New Hampshire House. Members never address each other by name. They address each other as the Honorable Representative from Manchester, my wonderful colleague from Concord, and therefore they can say things that are completely against that person's view and say it in the best manners possible. When a member is finished, again, they thank the Speaker, they thank the members, and return to their seats. This room has no air conditioning, and so as you can imagine, during the warmer months in May and June, it grows very, very warm. A gentleman may not remove their jacket until a female House member makes the motion that the men may remove their coats, and then they may be allowed to remove their jackets. Some of just the funny, quirky old traditions in the New Hampshire House. At the end, every vote is often done by voice vote, if at all possible, but with 400 people, you can imagine it's hard to determine. So they may do a division, which will activate the 1974 electronic voting system. Behind here, you can see the panel that our clerks view during the session, and the panel allows them to not only see how the vote is going, but also to see which members are in attendance or not. If the Speaker grows nervous that he is losing his attendance, he can call for a quorum. If he believes he's going to lose his quorum, the Speaker can lock the doors of the New Hampshire House. When meetings are running late and they're under deadlines, this beautiful historic marble-faced clock, E. Howard clock from Boston, can be stopped by the Sergeant at Arms, therefore extending the day and allowing them to finish their work on the date it's required. The Speaker has his own scoreboard to determine what's happening on the floor, so that at a glance to his left side, he can look down to see how the vote went and which members voted with him or against him on each of the various issues. This is also probably the most daunting view of the House, because when you're standing up at the podium with the 399 members looking at you and an additional couple of hundred people in the gallery, it could be a very daunting area to stand. We're now in the Senate gallery. It should be noticed that both the House and Senate have open galleries for the members of the public to come and watch. When you look down on the New Hampshire State Senate floor, you will see a huge difference in New Hampshire's House and Senate. The one similarity is that both chambers have been in continuous use since 1819. The tables, the chairs, and most of the furnishing in this room all date from 1942. Senators also have to be recognized to speak. The Senate President presides. The Senate President is one of the 24 members and therefore leaves his seat open and takes the head of the room, presiding at the front podium by the beautiful murals. The Senate President calls on senators, and again, they thank the Senate President for calling on them. They thank their colleagues for listening, and they give their reasoning as to why or why not they should vote for the bill. While it's noted that there are microphones on each desk, it should be known they do not amplify voices, and therefore the people sitting in the gallery will have to lean forward and listen carefully. Microphones are only connected to tape recorders and to the internet, allowing the visitor at home through their internet to actually be able to hear better than the people watching in the gallery. Senators are very seldom absent from the chamber. The senators operate on the fact that each of them represents such a large portion of the population that they very seldom hold any sessions without full attendance. Whereas in the House, we often see the attendance drop slightly lower. In this room, it's almost always 100% attendance. Senators not only have offices, but they are given staff. And often during the meetings, the staff will sit on the seats and couches lining the back wall. Also, if you are unable to make the ascent to the Senate gallery because of the steep stairs, they will make accommodations for visitors to sit on one of the couches in the back of the room. If you can imagine looking down on this room on a Senate session day, the back of the room is filled with staff. The front of the room would be the clerks. The office chairs that are down front would enable them to set up their computers, because while this is a historic room, we use every bit of technology. Therefore, the public can be notified immediately upon passage of bills through the computer that they have passed. If you look also to the far end of the room, you will see a very old desk. That is an original Senate desk from 1819. But what makes that desk so special is that it is the desk that all of New Hampshire's presidential candidates sign in when they are running for office. We wheel that desk down to our Secretary of State's office, and the candidates use that very historic desk to sign their names to run in the New Hampshire presidential primary.